Dear students, now we are to deal with the topic solutions of gases in liquids. So, you know that all gases are soluble in water as well as in other liquids to a greater or lesser extent. Solutions of gases in water play an important role in our daily life. The common examples may be carbonated beverages, that is soft drinks. You all are familiar with the soft drinks. Soft drinks have carbon dioxide dissolved in the soft drinks have carbon dioxide dissolved in the liquid. Now we are to deal with the factors affecting the solubilities of gases in liquids. So the first factor that can be taken into consideration is nature of gas and solvent. So how does the nature affects the solubility of gas? You know that generally the gases which can be easily liquefied are more soluble in common solvents. Example we can take that carbon dioxide is more soluble in water than oxygen to hydrogen. The gases which react with solvent possesses higher solubility. For example, we can give as HCl, NH3, etc. Next is temperature. Temperature, you can say the temperature also affects the solubility of gases. The solubility of gases decreases with increase of temperature as the dissolution is exothermic process. The reason why the solubility of gases decreases with rise in temperature is that because this process is exothermic. So when there is rise in temperature, there is decrease in solubility. Now we will move on to the next point, and that is pressure. So pressure is all dealt with the Henry's law. Pressure plays a very important role in solubility of gases in liquids. The solubility of gas in a liquid is directly proportional to the pressure of the gas over the solution at a definite temperature. So we can write it mathematically as m is directly proportional to P. M equals to Kp. Here K is what? Proportionality constant. So when we put P equals to 1, M is equal to what? K. So we can also write M1 upon M2 is equal to P1 upon P2. When this condition can be applied, suppose if we have solubility of gas, the gas is known at one particular pressure, the then it can be calculated at other pressure using the relationship, that is m1 upon m2 is equal to p1 upon p2. So the value of k is different for different gases at a particular temperature. At a particular temperature, the value of K is different for different gases. So when a mixture of two or more gases is brought in contact with the solvent, each constituent gas dissolves in proportion to its partial pressure. So you know partial pressure means what? It's a contribution. Okay. So we can also state Henry's law in terms of mole fraction. Mole fraction of the gas is the mole fraction of the gas in the solution is proportional to partial pressure of the gas. So it can be written mathematically as axis, means mole fraction is directly proportional to pressure, or mole fraction is equal to K dash P. We can write P equals to 1 by K dash into mole fraction. So KH equals, we can say, equals to KHX, where KH is what? 1 upon K dash. KH is what? Henry's law constant. So higher the value of KH, lower will be the solubility of the gas in the liquid. Now limitations of Henry's law. It holds good if the certain conditions are met. Number one, if the pressure is not too high, if the temperature is not very low, the gas does not chemically combine with the solvent, that is, association or dissociation does not take place. NH3 plus H2O, you can quote an example giving NH4OH, ammonium hydroxide. NH4OH, when dissolved in water, gives NH4 plus and OH minus, like CO2 plus 2H2O giving H2CO3. H2CO3, it is carbonic acid. So these are various examples in which association or dissociation takes place. Okay. Now applications of Henry's law. First application is carbonated beverages. Carbonated beverages means what? You know carbonated beverages? That is, effect of pressure on solubility of gas is used in producing carbonated beverages like soft drinks. These are what? These are bottled under a carbon dioxide pressure greater than 1 atmosphere. So when the bottles are open to the air, the partial pressure of CO2 above the solution is decreased. The solubility of CO2 decreases and CO2 bottles out fizz of the solution. Okay. Next is deep sea diving. Deep sea divings, you know, deep sea diving is what? The scuba divers must ascend slowly to the prevent gases from being released rapidly from blood. You know that when divers come out of the sea, the pressure of water decreases. As a result, the solubility of gases in the fluid or liquid, that is blood. In humans, the fluid is what? Basically blood. So from blood or body fluid, the bubbles of nitrogen and other gases affect nerve impulse and give rise to a decompression sickness or called the bends. It's a medi- medical situation called bends, which is painful and can be fatal. Fatal means it can lead to the death also. So deep sea divers substitute helium for nitrogen in the air that they breathe because helium has much lower solubility in biological fluids than nitrogen. Externally, the scuba divers use the air tank filled with 11.7% helium, 56.2% nitrogen. You see that 56.2% nitrogen is what? 56.2% means less than 78% and 32.1% oxygen. So this is how they get protected. High altitude sickness, third point is at high altitudes, partial pressure of the oxygen is low, reducing the dissolved oxygen in blood, resulting in the anoxia. That is, people suffer from weakness and inability to think properly. This condition is called as what? Anoxia. Now, could you understand the Henry's law and its applications? Could you understand this?